What's up, guys? Let's see what I miss. Hello, hello. Okay, that's everybody. Good, good, good. First time catching a live, Allie. Welcome. Okay. Teared up. You know, I got a little bit misty. I had to pull myself together during that scene when I was filming on the Mark Twain. I was like, pull it together, David. Okay. How the heck am I? I'm doing pretty well. Okay. You know, I had no idea what I was going to do for that Splash Mountain video. I was so nervous about going there to filming that because I always wonder if I'm going to meet the moment. You know, I've been doing this a long time, but I still wonder if I'm going to be able to convey and adequately, you know, capture things in a way that people, you know, enjoy. And it sounds like I did okay. Sounds like I did okay. Based on the comments, I mean, because a lot of the comments were like they really enjoyed the video. Tyler, he says, love that you caught the moment they cut out the splash cue without realizing it at the time. Well, I mean, yeah, sort of. It may look that way, but I was actually posted there for about 45 minutes, maybe more, close to an hour. Once they closed the queue. Oh, you mean the back of the queue when I was over there at Haunted Mansion? Yeah, that was wild. I was sitting there just jibber jabbering. It was the funniest thing. I was talking to my wife because just I was catching up with her and letting her know what was going on, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, and I see the queue just growing and growing. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, why is that guy running? He was practically running. The guy with the sign, he's like trying to keep up with everybody, and I'm just like, babe, something's happening, and I got to go down there and check it out. And as it happened, I turned the camera on. Literally, the moment I turned the camera on at 10 p.m., it was almost at the exact moment that the guy with the sign got out of the queue, and he stopped controlling the queue. It was the funniest thing. Thank you to J Ham Jr. for the $2. Thank you to Jason Eatman for the $20 gift. Great video on the closing of Splash Mountain. I too thought I was prepared for it, and then they closed the doors, and I cried like I lost a loved one. I got it, Jason. I've been saying, and I said in the video, I've been very nonchalant about the closing of Splash Mountain and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I didn't think I felt a certain kind of way for either. And by that I mean, I would have been fine if they kept Splash Mountain, and nor do I have a problem with them bringing on Tiana's. I don't mind if they closed it, but I would have been fine if they had kept it. I didn't feel any kind of way about it. But now that it's gone, I'm like, oh man, that was pretty great. Splash Mountain was pretty great. So the only thing I can hope for is that they don't screw it up. You know what I mean? I was talking to somebody else, I forget. And I said, man, they really can't screw this up. If they screw up Tiana's, people are going to be upset. Man, people are going to be upset if they don't deliver an amazing product with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Uper Gamer, get the $20. Thank you. Visited Disneyland from the Orlando area first time ever last week. Your videos really helped us prep for the trip. Thank you very much, Uper. Glad to hear that. And did I get it? Oh, here we go. Traveling Raindrops, gifted $5. Thank you. Your splash video made me emotional and nostalgic. Thanks for sharing it. You always bring the joy. Thank you very much for saying that. Brian G, get the $5. So if the treehouse is any indication of how long the reskin will be for Splash Mountain, it's going to 5 years till it opens. I get what you're saying, but the truth of things is that the reason why it's taken so long to do the treehouse is because they did nothing. They did literally nothing for about 2 years. They had the scrim up, and I would say for the first year, they didn't know what they were going to do, probably. I don't think they had any idea what they wanted to build there. They were they were pulling the audience, as it were. So that's why it's taken so long. The actual work that they've been doing is pretty typical. You know, the pace of the construction has been pretty typical. Okay. Ewok Village Treehouse. I mean, I would have been down for that. It doesn't really fit in the land, but if they had built an Ewok treehouse, but you know what? They built a whole new planet. You'd have to build Endor if you're going to build an Ewok treehouse, because Ewok treehouses only exist on Endor. Swole Patrol, get the $5. Thank you. Any changes, additions you would like to see to Oogie Boogie Bash this year? I mean, I would just like to see them plus it a little bit. You know, it's been the same show for, 4 years now. So I would like to see them do just something a little extra. I don't know what, another show maybe, just a little bit more entertainment perhaps. There's a parade, but there's no fireworks. They don't do anything on that stage that they do for other after hours events. There's enough characters. I'm okay with the characters. The characters in the treat trails are great. So I guess if anything, or maybe give us an extra hour. I don't know. Is the work on Splash Mountain going to affect the train at all? No, not at all. It'll stay open the whole time. The work that they're doing on Splash Mountain is not structural. The only thing that would affect the train going through that tunnel is if they were doing something to the structure of the mountain, but they're not. So I know I'm not expecting it to change or to cause any interruptions at all to the Disneyland Railroad. You might have noticed, CVCJR, I would have loved if they kept Splash Mountain going until next morning. You might have noticed, well, I think, is the water still on? The boats were still running, and the water was still on the next day. And I think that was because they're still doing some private, maybe after hours, private rides through. So it's still actually running right now, I think. Yeah, the next day. I'm not sure if it was open or on today, but I know it was yesterday. Will there be scrim where the railroad goes through? Well, I can't see why not. Yeah, it's good. They'll block the view. They kind of have to. They have to block the view, yeah. Dee Dee Williamson, get the $10. Thank you, Dee Dee. For me, it's the memories I'll miss the most. My dad, who isn't around anymore, loves Splash Mountain, and I couldn't go on that ride and not think of him. Thank you for covering the end for us. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Dee Dee. People Mover John, get the $10. Thank you. David saw you as you exited the ride, yelled out Fresh Baked, saw that you were having a moment. I did as well. This might have been, that day might have been the most shout outs, the most fans, the most selfies I've ever done in a single visit. Landon Sunblad, get the $10. Thank you. Keep up the great work, David. My family loves watching you before bed. I know my best friend Craig is watching, so I was hoping you could break the news to him that my wife is pregnant with number 4. Well, there you go. Done. Congratulations, you guys. Yeah, Porkins says, having been on the train while Splash was down for refurb, they simply have black screen curtains over the glass. Yeah, that's the most intrusive thing that's going to happen to the attraction. But the train's still going to operate. How many dates can you purchase at once for Oogie Boogie Bash? I don't think there is a limit. I don't know if there is. Or if there is one, I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody in chat can help you out. Is the new ride going to have riders sit side by side? No. They would have to rebuild all the logs and possibly I don't know if you can just change the logs, but no, I don't think so. Keith Clancy, get the $5. Thank you. Love the Splash video. I was cracking up towards the end with everyone clapping while the logs were coming down. It was the scene was I only showed you maybe a third of that, but it was like that for a solid hour at least, maybe more. Shelly Batuli, get the $10. Thank you. Thanks for taking time out Tuesday night to take a selfie with my son. You bet, absolutely. Jeffrey, Jeff, oh hey Jeff, are they really going on sale on the 29th? Yes. I'm working on a video right now. We will be, I'll have a news video on this topic tomorrow morning. But yes, Oogie Boogie tickets go on sale June 29th to the general public, 27th to Magic Key holders. I got you, Jeffrey. Cody Porter, I saw some new concept art that did show riders side by side, but that might have just been for show. Well, Walt Disney World, their logs are side by side. So it's possible, I mean, you could see art that might show it that way, but that's because that's the way it is at Walt Disney World. Ellen Cervantes with a very generous gift of $100. Thank you, Ellen. Hey, David, we were just at Disneyland. Since they're changing the theme of Splash Mountain, do you think they will change the theme of Critter Country? You know, I've been thinking about this. Initially, my belief was, Tiana's Bayou Adventure is in New Orleans. So therefore, it must be part of New Orleans Square. It only makes sense. But they didn't call it, you know, they're calling it the Bayou Adventure. And I do think there's a chance that they're still going to consider it part of Critter Country. I do think, technically, Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be Critter Country. Not that it matters. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter either way. But in so doing, they will be able to keep a lot of the theming that is already, you know, that's in existence now. You know, just the way the land is themed. If they don't change that theming, they can keep it as Critter Country. Steve Boutte, get the $5. Thank you. If Splash at both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom had been kept in pristine condition, I might have felt more nostalgic, but both versions were on life support. Well, I think one of the reasons why they were on life support was because they knew they were going to refurb it. So they just let it lapse, you know, a little bit. Joker Cruiser, get the $10. Thank you. Per WDW News Today, there will be 17 new characters, many new animatronics, physical animatronic musicians, and the smell of beignets throughout the queue, and new Disney animation of Tiana. That's correct, yes. We'll be talking about that in our video tomorrow as well. CBCJR, get the $20. Thank you. People Mover John and Kathy Spencer are both in the park. This super chat covers one of them, and what Google takes, of course, well, that'll be $3. No, I'm sorry, that'll be $6. Who? Wait, so, uh, yeah, who's in the park? Is it Kathy Spencer and at People Mover? Make yourself known to me. Tell me where you are, how many are in your party, and what you would like. Let me see. Let me hear from you guys. There's Kathy Spencer. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, where are you at, Kathy? What would you like? And how many people are in your group? She's by the Tiki Room. Well, can I get you something near there? Or, I mean, I'll get you anything anywhere, but often people want to get something that's near to them. French toast churro. Oh, I think I need to get into that. Yeah, I agree with you, Josh. Josh says Pooh is a big franchise. Seems unlikely they'll take it out since it's already built. Pooh is one of the biggest money makers in the Disney company, and I don't think they're going to get rid of that. So that's a reason for Critter Country to stay intact. Did I hear from Kathy yet? Stay Fluffed, give the $5. Thank you. TBA still has a lot of critters. They should have at least kept. Oh, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of critters. That's something else that I was thinking of. A lot of critters in the attraction, so it makes sense that they would fit in Critter Country. As a matter of fact, I used that term when in my video today. That's what kind of stimulated that thought process. Is I was like, these critters are new animatronics. The new animatronics are critters. Brett Eddy, get the $5. Thank you. The Pixar Place Hotel looks boring. Not impressed. I hope they add more retheming elements as the renovation progresses. Don't count on that. That's it. I mean, they're gonna. It's not done yet, but you're not going to be surprised suddenly with some really immersive theming elements. That is what you're going to get. Have I lost? Okay, I'm trying to find Kathy again. Bengal Barbecue Chieftain Chicken Skewer, please. There it is. Okay. If you have to guess, how many people do you think rode Splash Mountain that final day? I couldn't even begin to guess. I have no idea. I mean, 50,000? They are not going to change the Hungry Bear or the menu. Soul Patrol, get the $5. Thank you. Didn't see Baymax in Wondrous Journeys Tuesday night. Oh. Is he gone due to Murphy incident? No, I don't think so. But I don't know. I don't know why he wasn't there. But it could. There's just been a technical issue. Jungle Cruiser, get the $10. Thank you. New Jungle Cruise 100th anniversary dessert bowl at Tropical Hideaway. Looks like one of the boats, but in royal blue. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. Bengal Barbecue. Begin order. Where'd you go, Kathy? Bengal Barbecue Chieftain Chicken Skewer. Okay. Chieftain Chicken Skewer. There it is. Come on. Okay. Let's go. My phone is just dragging right now. Come on. Jeez. I need a new phone. I think I'm going to get the Pixel, I think. Okay, Kathy, your order is placed. Unfortunately, it's going to take about an hour. Go enjoy yourself. The return time is 8:30. And your order number is 8852. Jeremy Cole, gifted $5. Thank you. I'll be there in October. Any chance I'll be able to find an elote dog? Well, I mean, right now they're doing the Esquite dog at Refreshment Corner, which is basically the same thing. They don't call it an elote dog, but it is, more or less. Whether or not it'll make it to October, I'm 50-50 on, but possible? I mean, they may change the menu, though, for the holiday season, so I don't know. It's possible. Did Tony Baxter end up riding on the last day? I would say at least 3 times he did, yes. The Sour Cherry Churro is not in the park right now, no, unfortunately, Booper. Will I be in the park on Sunday? Maybe. I'm not sure yet. Where can you get the best corn dog? Well, they're all the same. They're all prepared in the same way, but my analysis suggests that the difference is in the freshness. The freshest corn dogs, and that is the corn dogs that take the least amount of time from the fryer to delivery, are at the Corn Dog Castle in DCA, over there by Paradise Garden Grill. The slowest, the least fresh corn dogs are the corn dogs at the cart, out there in Disneyland on Main Street. The corn dog fryer is way over there in the plaza kitchen, not anywhere near where the actual delivery system is. So the freshest corn dogs are at Corn Dog Castle. Stay left, gifted $5. Thank you. Is the 100th going to be 18 months like the WDW 50th? I'm not going back till Cali till May, and would love to go around and collect all the medallions. I don't know. That's a good question. Does anybody know the answer to that? I do not. It's possible, but I don't know. Christina Nutt, get the $10. Thank you. Going to Disneyland Park solo Monday. To clarify a previous question, why should you bother with Lightning Lane if a ride has single rider? Well, there's more to life than single riders. There are families. There are groups. And some people don't want to get split up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't get Lightning Lane for Radiator Springs because I can go single rider, but if you got 2 kids and a family and you don't want to break the group up, then you get Lightning Lane. So I guess that's a reasonable answer, isn't it? Sometimes I think guests, and I'm the same way. I see things through my own bubble often, but there's a whole world of other kinds of people out there. There's a whole world, many varying viewpoints. That's something that I have. That's something I've been trying to work on in the past year or two. And going to Disney World recently has helped create a little more awareness in me about how focused I am in the way I do Disney as opposed to how other people do Disney. And I'm trying to increase my awareness of other ways. Carlos Gomez, gifted $1. Thank you. Well, I know, but that's not Steve, I understand what she meant. But the way she asked the question it made it sound like she was trying to say, why does Lightning Lane exist? What's the point of Lightning Lane even being a thing if they're single rider? And so that was the question that I was trying to answer. Can you make reservations for October yet? 3 months in advance. So, no, not yet. Not till July. Will Wondrous and Magic Happens still be on the schedule in October? We talk about that in our news video tomorrow. Wondrous will not, but Magic Happens will be, yes. Do they still have security bag check in today? Yeah, bag check has always been a thing, forever. Christina Nutt, get the $5. Thank you. No, I'm going alone to Disneyland. Is Lightning Lane ever better over single rider? Yes. No. If there is single rider, then no, you don't need Lightning Lane. I'm trying to think of a case where that might be. Because some attractions don't have single rider, obviously, that have Lightning Lane. I mean, Lightning Lane actually, well, it's marginal. Like Matterhorn, it's all about timing, depending on when you hit the attraction. But there are times when the Matterhorn single rider queue can be a while, and it would be if that's the case. If the Matterhorn single rider queue is like 20 or 30 minutes, then yeah, definitely Matterhorn, Genie Plus Lightning Lane would be quicker than that. You never have to wait more than a few minutes on Lightning Lane on the Matterhorn. For example. Swole Patrol, get the $5. Thank you. At this point, should we assume no other nighttime entertainment like Main Street Electrical Parade will be returning this summer? No, there's still hope. There is still hope. Can you rope drop taking the art bus? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, the bus has a regular schedule. Just check the schedule to see what time there's, right? I don't take the art bus, so I'm not sure. I'm just assuming. But don't buses have a regular schedule that you can look at and see? How long will the monorail be down? About a month. Barring Gaffner, get the $2. Thank you. Excited to cover Tiana construction. Is that a question? Because if it is, oh yeah, it is a question. Yes. Train view? No, there will be no view of anything from the train. Not at all. There will be no view from anywhere, to be honest. Well, I guess Tom Sawyer's Island, you might have views of the actual mountain. You know, when they disassemble that tree at the top, we'll be able to see that from the ground, but even better from Tom Sawyer's Island. Peter S., get the $5. Thank you. At People Mover John wanted a Dole Whip in case he missed it. Used to go every day with our AP passes. Thank you for bringing Disneyland to us in Vegas. I'm sorry, that's right. I was going to do another one. Are you still here? Let me make sure he's still here. At People Mover John, are you still here? Tom Sawyer's Island does have a few higher points of elevation. There's the lookout point, you know, the ship that crashes on the island. That's got a pretty high view, so you'll be able to see something from there. I don't know how much, but I mean something. Gennaro, David, do you always prefer Toy Story Lot to Mickey Friends? Yes, always. The Mark Twain, probably, possibly, but I mean, it would be easier, I think, to us to do it from the island, which would get you basically the same view. You know, I was tripping out. I was freaking out about the loss of Splash Mountain and how we're going to survive without it for a year and a half. And then I realized we went for, guys, do you remember? We went a year and a half without the Mark Twain, the Columbia, anything from the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer's Island, and the Disneyland Railroad. We went, I mean, was it 2 years maybe? We had none of those things for 2 years. And those are things that I love. I love the Mark Twain and I love the Disneyland Railroad. I went 2 years without being able to ride either one of those. Ay, ay, ay. Was it 2 years? I'm trying to remember the exact time frame. I feel like I'm conflating two things now. Yeah, no trolling, guys. Keep it simple, please. I haven't heard from People Mover. Where are you at? Theme parks and things with Johnny. David, it was so amazing to meet you. They say you can make someone's day or even make someone's, where'd it go? Life. Amazing you did that for me, sir. I'm truly grateful. Can you tell me where we met, Johnny? I met a lot of people that day. Tell me who you were. Which where did we say hi? What did we do? Did he leave the chat? Okay, I'm gonna give it a few minutes, and then I'll look for another volunteer perhaps. D.D. Williamson gifted $5. Thank you. We went without this. Well, okay, that's different. That's different. But yeah, you're right. You're right. In front of Splash Mountain door, I told you about Splash going to 260 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, nice to have met you, Johnny. Thank you. I think it was brief, right? You kind of just said that, and then that was it, right? California Dreaming, get the $5. Thank you. Lifespan of Monsters Inc. at DCA. Do they still do a meet and greet with Pocahontas and Frontierland? Are you asking me how long I think Monsters will last? I mean, for a while until they demo Backlot. They do not. I haven't seen Pocahontas in the park in a very long time. How many do you think you met on Tuesday? Asks Greg. I mean, 100, 200 maybe, I think. Well, it depends on. Does the shout out, does the drive by Hey Fresh Bake count? Because, I mean, yeah, if that counts, then it was probably in the 200 range. It was basically constant. It was basically always. At least while I was in Critter Country, it was just nonstop. And I hopefully it doesn't look weird. Like there are moments in the videos where you can see me, I'll just say hi, and I kind of just because I had to keep going. I couldn't stop for every single one. I had to keep going. Did I miss one? Let's see. Let me go back. Stay left, gift of $2. Thank you. Will Avatar and Tomorrowland update be announced at D23? What Tomorrowland update? There isn't one. What are you talking about? Avatar? No, I don't think so. Because I don't think they have any idea what they're doing. That was completely mythical. That announcement, as I have gone back and reflected on it. Greg Chambers, get the $20. Thank you, Greg. Really enjoy your show and all your content. Do you think they'll replace the Pinocchio ride with something else? No, I do not. No Frozen, Beauty and the Beast. No. I think Pinocchio is going to stay as is. All right, guys, I'm trying to catch up. I feel like I lost a few things. Do you think Phantasmic comes back before Halloween? You mean the actual day of Halloween or the Halloween season? The Halloween season will have started before Phantasmic comes back. Yes. How's Sophia been? I love your days together. Sophia's awesome. Obviously, I love Sophia, but she is definitely starting to feel herself a little bit. She's getting more confident and more. She's developing a personality. I'll just leave it at that. Keith have gifted $5. It's just one of these days, because she did a thing. I'll relay this story to you. We were in the queue at Little Mermaid during the day we were filming. Going to the park with a toddler and how we handle it. We were in the queue for Little Mermaid, and there's a section. You know how there's a whole section of the queue back in the back that they don't use often, and it's empty, but it's just chains. Well, she went under the chain and started to walk into that empty part of the queue, and I said, "No, Sophia, come back here. You can't go back there. That's come with me. We got to stay in the queue." And she looked at me dead in the eyes for like 5 seconds, and just stared at me, and then turned around and kept running. I'm like, oh my God. I was so upset. I had to get out of the queue, run after her, grab her by the arm, and pull her back into the queue. And, sometimes, and then you can't do that. I don't know. It's hard to do that gracefully. Let me just say that. It's hard to do that gracefully. But she got it. She stayed with me after that. But I'm like, oh my God, one of these days she's going to do something. And I'm, because I know that people are, I've said to many people, there's eyes everywhere, all over me. I'm fully aware of how many eyes are on me constantly. So I just hope I don't, I hope she doesn't make me crazy one day. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Keith M. gifted $5. Thank you. Hate to ask this. Up is replacing Peter Pan? Where did that come from? Keith, I would love to hear where you heard that from. Donna, she wants to discover on her own. Absolutely. She is fearless. She loves to explore and climb and do things. But what the problem is, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. It's just, we're in a queue. Okay, I got, she had to get back in the queue. Okay, Evan Layton gets the $20. Thank you. Parenting is rarely graceful, and you do it really well. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. But I think many would agree that it's difficult to have composure at all times. Is it Mousetrap? Keith, is it Mousetrap? If it's Mousetrap, that's a fake site. I wish people would be more discretionary about where they get their information, because there's a lot of people out there who are trying purposely to tell you lies, that they are intentionally misleading you, and the internet is such that people just believe headlines. They just see the headline and don't even look past that. So yeah, I would Mousetrap, go ahead and ignore full time. Unless you like a laugh. If you enjoy satire, if you enjoy the kind of things that are ridiculous, like I forget what the other one was, making Small World a walkthrough attraction, moving Disneyland to Texas, that's all Mousetrap. Kyle the Mighty, you raised one kid without either of you dying or going crazy, so you could probably handle a second. It's funny. People get into parenthood with these high ideas of how they, all the great plans of the things they're going to do, and how I'm not going to teach my kid this, and I'm going to teach him that, et cetera, et cetera. And which, rightfully so. That's how I started out. I had a certain frame of mind that I thought, here's the thing. I had not a great father, so there, my dad was a role model for how I didn't want to be. But anyway, I digress. But by the time that child is grown, I think parenting just comes down to, is my kid a felon? And if your kid is not a felon, then you did it. You know what I mean? As long as it's not a drag on society, that's a victory. So as long as I can get to that point with both of my children, I'll be good. Yeah, Darren is correct. Inside the Magic is another website that you can avoid. You can choose not to read Inside the Magic. Now, they're not actively lying to you per se, but they are very clickbaity and they are sensationals or say sensationalistic. I do not support Inside the Magic or condone reading them. I have them blocked on all platforms and ignored and muted or whatever I have to do. Them and also Disney Dining. Stay Fluff, get the $5. Thank you. The only dark ride that needs a retheme or at least a massive overhaul is Mr. Toad's. Even projections could be better than cardboard cutouts. I'm here to tell you, Stay Fluff, that I love the cardboard cutouts. That's the reason why I love Toads. I wouldn't mind them updating Toads, but only to make it cleaner and fresher. But I don't want any changes to that attraction in terms of the actual show. Carolina C, get the $20. Thank you. Hi, Dave. I walked by you last Sunday in Fantasyland, but I was shy to say hello. It was cool seeing you in person. Like you, I was cruising the park by myself. People think I'm weird for going to Disneyland alone. I mean, it's not weird at all. Not even in the least bit. Any chance of Halloween-themed fresh-baked merch? Someday maybe, but I don't have any plans this year. It's hard for me to keep up with that kind of thing. Matter of fact, I got to take that Christmas stuff down. California Dream. I didn't know they were clickbait. Well, they don't make it obvious. Wait, are you talking about Inside the Magic? Yeah, Inside. I mean. Oh, yeah. They're terrible, man. They are so terrible. They have latched on to the idea that Google encourages that kind of thing. And so they actively create articles in order to take advantage of that thing in the algorithm that helps people love rage farming. It's a state of the internet today that I'm not happy about, I guess, because it goes against what I am, in terms of being, I'm trying to be nice and positive and you know what I mean, like uplifting or whatever. But yeah, rage farming in social media and everything is just, oh my God, it's just too much. I can't take it sometimes. It's upsetting, just making content just to piss people off. I hate it. I have to be honest. I just don't like it. Lisa Riley, get the $5. Thank you. Did Sylvia get a chance to ever ride Splash Mountain? No, she was 1 inch short. 1 inch short. We measured her a few days ago just to make sure, and 1 inch short. Can Getaway Today get me Oogie Boogie tickets? I don't think so. I don't remember. I wish I knew, but I don't think they do. Christopher Quinn, get the $10. Thank you. On Splash Mountain last day, I saw 3 things. 1, Rise was 60 minutes at 5. Splash was $275. And of all things, the canoes had a 15-minute wait. I have never seen that on the app. There was. I was expecting there to be a siphoning of guests, but Haunted Mansion was busier than usual. Pirates was busier than usual. But Rise wasn't, like you said. But the canoes were busier than usual. Okay, so no. Here we go. Kimberly says, Getaway today cannot get you Oogie Boogie tickets. Jamie Graham, get the $10. Thank you. I'm going to Disneyland towards the end of October. I hope to see you then. Well, I'm probably going to be there around then. That's my birthday. My birthday's on the end of October, October 23rd. Brecken, get the $10. Thank you. Dave, thank you for the Splash Mountain coverage. Do you or anyone here know what they said on the PA right before they shut it down, or where I could find that? I was there too, but couldn't make it out. Yeah, I heard it, but I couldn't make out what they were saying either. But I'm pretty sure they were saying, it's over. Go home. I'm pretty sure that's what it said in some fashion. Stay Fluff, get the $2. Thank you. Is Oogie Boogie the same as Mickey's Not So Scary? No. It is a completely unique and different kind of show. I mean, it is a Halloween party, but no, it is its own thing, for sure. Steve Pate, was the 10 p.m. queue closed for Splash known in advance? No, I don't think so. Well, maybe it was, and I wasn't paying attention, but I thought it was going to close at 11. But they closed at 10. Now, while I am disappointed or bummed for the people who were hoping to, that were planning their evening around trying to get in the queue at the end at 11, operationally, it was the right decision. Because if they had waited till 11 p.m., they would have, it would have got everybody out of the park that were staying there at 1 in the morning or later, 1:30 in the morning. And I mean, that's bad for cast to be there that late, but it's also bad for guests. Toy Story parking lot, as I mentioned in my video, the last bus leaves an hour after park closing. I was there. Luckily though, it was also a grad night. And so there were still kids from grad night at DCA leaving DCA because it was open an hour later. But there were, there was a chance that you couldn't get back to the Toy Story parking lot in time. So, Mikkel Suji, get the $5. Thank you. Hi, Mikkel. Aloha, Fresh Baked Ohana. Great Splash video, David. I wasn't crying. Well, neither was I. Aaron! Is that really you? How come you're not verified, Aaron? Is that really you? If it is, I miss you, buddy. Christopher Quaid, get the $5. Thank you. When you did the update on the Pixar Hotel and you talked about the hotel looking like a corporate hotel, I got an ad for NetJets at the same time. I mean, yeah, seriously. Brian Sevilla, get the $10. Thank you. Great vlog. Oh, I don't know how. Well, you gotta have probably need content in order to get verified. But all right, I just want to make sure because there's a lot of spoofs out there. But yeah, good. Thank you for stopping in here, man. I miss you guys. I think we're going down in your neighborhood soon. We should figure something out. Have V text Liz, and we'll try to figure it out. Brian Sevilla, get the $10. Thank you. Great vlog on Splash. You really captured the emotion that day. I got to ride it 8 times on Tuesday and felt the same way you did. Watching you walk out was the hardest thing. It was so hard to leave, you guys. I didn't want to leave, but I mean, just like I kept waiting. We were just waiting, and there was log after log of empty logs, and they turned the house lights on. I'm like, okay. Like at some point, you just got to say it's over. But I did not enjoy the walking out on that night. Not at all. Yeah, we will, Aaron. We will for sure. Let's figure it out. I'll have my people contact your people, and by that I mean my wife. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at communicating. I hope you don't, I mean, perhaps you know what I'm talking about, but I'm really bad at texting and emailing and calling people. So Liz is really good at that. So luckily for me. Urban Arroyo get the $5. Thank you. Do you think that Winnie the Pooh ride might go away because of the new land? No, I do not. And also, might Hungry Bear might go away too? No, it will not. Greg Seifert, I left the park at 1 a.m. and it was so surreal. I have never seen a park that well. I have a couple times. We did the Halloween, the 50th for the Halloween was incredible because it was open. The Halloween event was almost completely after hours, so the park was good and closed by the time we left. It was a solid 2 hours, I think, after the park closed. And that actually, on that night, we did miss Toy Story. We had to Uber home. On the night of the 50th anniversary of Haunted Mansion, we had to Uber home because they had closed the Toy Story parking lot, which is why I was worried about it. But yeah, we walked out. We walked out of that park, and there was nobody. There was nobody, not a soul, except for the security, who were right behind us as we left, because they had to make sure we didn't stay there any longer than we absolutely had to that night. And I think I recall something like that happened too when they were letting annual pass holders ride Haunted Mansion Holiday after hours also. Stephen Jones, I was disappointed they kicked us out before they shut off the water. Well, they didn't shut off the water, so you would have been there all day. You would have been there all night because the water was still running the next day. Does the Columbia ever sail at night besides for Fantasmic? Yes, it has. I've been on the Columbia at night a couple times. I don't know if they're doing it now. I think the Mark Twain is running at night right now, but it's possible they could run Columbia also. Yeah, somebody mention about the Lopez brothers and Tony Baxter because they were together. Every time I saw one, I saw the other. So were they traveling in the same party? I'm curious. They were traveling together. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that. Uh, Putting 15 exclamation points in your messages kind of makes me not want to respond. Just FYI, I'm just saying. I see them, and you're spamming, Ty. So, I mean, I want to answer your question, but now I'm choosing not to because it's kind of obnoxious. So I don't want to be a jerk about it. I'm just saying, guys, just be cool. Like try to have some chill. You know. I was at Disneyland yesterday and saw some construction workers on the Fantasmic stage during operation hours. Well, yeah, it's not like they're going to wait until the last minute to fix the show. They're going to be working this thing nonstop. They're going to be working nonstop on trying to get that show ready. I would think. Ty, thank you, Ty, for saying that. By the way, no, I have not. I did not hear any reports of anybody being kicked out or banned or whatever for taking water. Tony Baxter took water. I know they're telling you not to, I know, and they don't want you to, but I didn't hear anything about them kicking anybody out. Who are the Lopez brothers? They are a pair of NBA stars, professional basketball players, well known, who are also well known Disney fans. Especially, I want to say Brooke is an especially big fan of Disneyland. But the Lopez brothers I see them all the time. I see them all the time at Disneyland. Yeah, Tony gets a free pass for that sort of thing. Yeah, indeed he does, for sure. Tony can do whatever he wants. I'm fine. I am fine. Tony built, I mean, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, Indiana Jones, Star Tours, most of Disneyland Paris, New Fantasyland he was responsible for, or not responsible for, but participated in. Thank you, Tony. You could take a whole bucket of water out if you want. Do you see celebrities there a lot? I actually saw one celebrity I saw on that night, that Tuesday, was Ben Schwartz. I saw Ben Schwartz. Didn't get a chance to get his photo, but I kind of had. That was one of the few times where I've actually had a moment. I was like, ooh, I was excited to see him. But I maintained my chill and I didn't like stalk him or chase him down or anything like that. Chris Lucas, get the $5. Thank you. You should do an update on Single Rider at Incredicoaster. I've come to realize that it is not a good Single Rider line at all. It's not one of the better ones, but it's still better than Standby. The water is going to be the same in Tiana's. Well, yes and no. It's not like that water is unique to, because that water changes, every few days. You know what I mean? Like that's not the water that's in there now will be different than the water that was in there, a week ago. How has Indy been for reliability these days after the refurb? Same as ever, Tyler. Same as ever. Will they retheme Peter Pan and Alice? Ryan, what are you talking about? It's Anaheim type. Yeah. It's Anaheim. He's right. It is. It's Anaheim tap water. We're winding down, guys. 1 minute to go. You're welcome, Kathy. I hope you enjoy. Did you think of using the Single Rider line for the last ride on Splash? No, I did not. Well, they closed Splash at 5 p.m. But no, I wanted to wait in the queue. I wanted to have that experience, the whole queue experience. I felt like it would have been cheating. I would have been shorting. I wanted to pay my respects. So I wanted to wait properly, in some kind of queue for Splash. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody using Single Rider, but that's just something that I wanted to do. Greg's going to Costco, everybody. Don't leave with anything you didn't intend to buy when you went in there. All right, guys, that's it. That's our show for tonight. Thank you very much for hanging out with us and for giving us an hour of your time. I love you guys for that, and I appreciate you and your kindness and your generosity. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh bake.